Hey, if you miss us live, you can listen to us wherever you get your podcast.
My name's Tony Wood. I'm the general manager at Fred Beats Key and Landlord. I just wanted to take a minute to talk about Larry Feldman at Career Changers USA. Larry and I have been working together for about the last 12 years now, and anything I've ever needed as far as recruiting, training, Larry's been right there. Larry's got me salespeople, he's got me managers, he's got me technicians even through the toughest times in the industry, and he is just the kind of guy who's going to tell you exactly what's on his mind. He's going to tell you exactly what he thinks. But Larry also has the expertise to back it up. When he was in the dealership world, he was a top performer, and that's really important to my staff, especially as it pertains to training. A lot of people can come in and teach out of a textbook, but Larry has real world experience dealing with customers, dealing with situations in dealerships that we go through on a daily basis and try to train on. But Larry's been through it, so he can really empathize with the people and tell you what's worked for him and maybe what way not to go. Larry is just always at a 10. I mean, his energy level is always up there. And I think people, they just love that and they feed off of it. He's not faking it. He is genuinely excited to come in and help you. He's excited to come in and help grow your business. And he's one of those people who just really enjoys seeing dealers succeed and have a lot of fun at the same time.
Life is about connection. Having a support system to lean on. And roads to endless possibility. At every turn, guiding the way, we are building the connections that move you.
So what would your dealership feel like if your entire sales staff was literally on fire, your sales and service staff? They were nonstop all over social media, completely dominating your marketplace. They could do it in 30 days or less and then continue their education to do it for an entire 6 months or a year. You literally would completely take over the entire marketplace and no one would be able to compete with you. And that's what we can do for you. So when you're walking around your community, whether you're at local restaurants or you're going to the gym, if you don't want to be bothered, fine, you won't be bothered. But a lot of people will walk up to you and say, oh my God, I love your social media. Your staff is amazing. We love what you're doing in the community. We want to come buy a car from you. We want to get an oil change at your dealership. Your community is absolutely going to love you. And it doesn't matter what platform you're on. You could be on TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all social media platforms. You will literally be all over the place. And not only will you have ads running, but your own staff is going to be promoting your brand and promoting themselves within the dealership and within the business. So it's like running an ad times 100-fold because your entire staff is participating in the process. I've traveled all over North America. I've trained Toyota. I've trained Nissan. I've been to driving sales. I've been to Women in Auto. I get hired as a speaker for conferences at universities all over the country. And I can help change the trajectory of your dealership right now.
This is Ian.
And this is Jeff here at NADA 2024. Now, we're really lucky because not only are we here with the amazing, the great, the wonderful Sandy Zannino, our very good friend. We love her so much. And as I'm respectful, I won't give her a hug. But I'm not trying to be jerk. I'm just trying to say. But she just finished a session and we're in a quiet room. So nobody's phone's going off. There's nobody in the background yelling. There's no nothing. So this is wonderful. Sandy, thank you so much for spending the time. I got myself in trouble with you, Introduce yourself. You don't need any introduction, and tell us a bit more about what you do.
Okay. Well, I'm Sandy Zannino. It's always great to be with you guys. I appreciate your support, right? I am an HR and DEI consultant. Been around for a while, since 1998, and here we are. And I was really honored to be able to give a talk at NADA.
So now you do realize
big
car
deal.
people, DEI isn't hardly Dale Earnhardt Industries.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that is hilarious.
It doesn't have something to
It's
do
a-
with Fox. Are you sure?
I don't know if they have anything to do with that. Although race car people and stuff are really big into car dealerships, and
Yeah, well, you know,
you needed to do something with Danica Patrick. That's what you needed to
now her, I know who she is.
Oh, yeah. Listen, it's very funny because not only is she a lady, somebody can say a girl because she's got started in racing. She's this tall.
Oh.
She's like 5 feet tall.
Didn't she talk here?
She talked to
I
the
left,
big
yeah.
glowing ball thing. The big glowing ball thing.
Oh, yeah. I haven't been able to. She talked at the Sphere.
Yeah, she talked at the opening.
Keynote Sphere thing.
Yeah,
Oh, I missed that. I did do the
250
Sphere.
bucks
Did
there,
you
yeah.
see the Sphere?
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
The
a big.
opening big session. Well,
I wasn't there.
like
but
the
I-
We didn't
event.
go.
Like the event-
We weren't worthy
the
of
event
media.
part.
We didn't
My problem is every time I drive by, this eye
I got to go.
follows me.
I got to go to that.
Did you
That
really?
thing is really cool.
That is. I've
Yeah, and I will tell you, I thought it was pretty hilarious because, I mean, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. But the show was about a postcard to Earth or something like that. And basically it was like, hey, Earthlings, you're going to blow your world up if you don't start taking care of it. And
Yeah, well, and of course, when you do that with a bunch of car dealers, you know what happens there, eh?
I thought everybody was going to leave like halfway through.
Yeah.
I did, but it was really amazing. Like the Sphere itself is
Well,
the
you know,
bomb.
they really did a heck of a job. I took a video of it for sending it home to my kids, and there's an ad on there. I can't remember what it's for, but there was a cat, and the cat kept crawling up the side of it and everything. It's just really cool what they did. But we've touched on something by accident here, and we talk about DEI, and it's a big deal. And I mean, I know. Listen, it's car people are a problem. And a lot of and female too, to be honest with you, because they grew up. A lot of the women have made it in the business, made it by being a really good. I want to word it right because I open my mouth sometimes really wrong, but they want to be
It's okay.
a good foe to men, and
Women want to be a good foe to men.
foe to men because a lot of times women have had to fight to get where they are in the car business. So I want to say foe? I'm trying to think of it.
Well, I think, Jeff, I think one of the things that we hear a lot is that you got to have tough skin,
Ah.
right, to be in the car business, to be a woman. And
Foil
And
to men.
okay, foil, maybe not a foe, right? Because we don't want to create environments where we're fighting each other, right? We definitely don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But at least I think what you might be saying is that we have these expectations of women, right, to be something that maybe we're not.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's not okay to be soft.
Yep.
Right? You got to be, tough and in this industry. And, part of what I talked about a little bit was bias, right? And those are some of our biases. We've talked about these things, the same behavior from a man versus a woman. Sometimes if a woman is assertive, she's then labeled something else that starts with a B.
Well, you know, it's
Right. Like sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes this happens.
See,
So
women,
and we're not making any progress, right? Like I showed in my, we're not making progress. An NADA workforce study shows that we're still at 18.8%. 3 years in a row, we've actually gone backwards from 2017, which was like 19%.
The other night we went to the Golden Wrench Awards.
Oh,
And it was really cool. Russell Hill put it on Joshua Taylor and that whole group there.
Josh sent me. Yeah. I'm sorry. I
Well,
missed
they
that.
had an award for you, but you weren't there to take it, so I got it.
What?
No. But I'll tell you what.
It was a big wrench. Spoiler.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a wrench award. I'm good for throwing a wrench into the
It's a
thing.
gold wrench, though. Big gold wrench.
The Golden Axe Awards.
They give you
I
a
would-
little wrench. They give you a little wrench at the event.
Here's
What
the
time
thing
is
that
it?
I
I have to pay
noticed.
attention.
Yeah.
2:00.
Here's the thing that I noticed. Some of the people that got it, and there's some people there with large names in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Awesome.
And then when they got the award, they went, and you're gonna show positivity and strength and be there. And they had their slogan-y things.
Mm-hmm.
This lady, it was a dealership group. They have 3 or 4 stores, and it's a fix ops. It was a fix ops thing.
Yeah.
And she said, she got this award, and she said, I got to tell you something. Our people are great. Our people build this. We learn from our people. I don't know anything. She says, my dad started this. He doesn't really know anything. They know everything. They're so good. They're so great. And they make us great. Not one thing was there about, our formula is RESPECT, really sell expensive cars,
I think that is one of the disconnects that I have seen in dealership. We'll say our highest value is our people, right? But how do you express that? How do you show your people? And how do you see your people? Right, right. When you see the people that you employ, when you really see them, right? And you begin to create maybe benefits around them, when you start surveying your people and finding out what they really want, then some pretty magical stuff can happen.
Well, we've talked to this with you before many a times. The worst attended shows we ever have, the lowest views.
Or the HR shows, yeah.
Anything to do with those dreaded 2 words, HR.
Yeah, I mean, it's boring. But you think it's boring. I'll tell you what, I've never been bored one day in my, how many years now? Since 1998. Never, ever been bored. Yeah. I get it, because there's so much front-end compliance. I mean, the FTC, there's so much that dealers have to deal with. And that trying to figure out the basics, profit protection stuff can be annoying, but it is our people, right?
Well, what's funny? We've talked about this. When something goes wrong with a person, they scramble, and then they pay. And they pay more money than they pay the lawyers, more money they pay the compliance fees.
It's the thing. I mean, Jeff, you and I have talked about this. It is the thing that
hundreds of hours trying to figure out how to get it.
It's one of the things that drives me crazy, because whenever I see the headline, $150,000, a lawsuit, a loss of profits that you're basically just throwing away, right? I just think it's preventable.
And nobody ever sees
They're
$1,050 an hour they're paying the lawyers.
Oh, that too. That's right. And all the, and it just I don't know. I just think that it's preventable. It's not rocket science.
It's shocking. Shocking. That's
Are you? Maybe some people are shocked. It's
my new signature thing is I want 10% for whatever you get for this idea. Is you tell a dealer, let me ask you a question. Do you sell extended warranties? They go, yeah. Why? Well, because it's a profit center. It helps my customers, prevent themselves for future losses. So let me ask you a question. If I could show you a way where you could prevent your HR losses.
An HR extended warranty? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. But if I could, it's very funny. When I took finance F&I training.
The profit protection, I don't know, let's think of a name for it.
Profit protection lady. No.
I don't want to be the profit protection.
Just in case.
Profit protection program.
Well, I actually have it. It's called boot camp. It's boot camp for managers, because the one thing we don't. I love our business, right? You can come into our business, make a whole bunch
But
of
then again,
great
you're like,
living
not
and
work for it too, I heard.
yeah, that too. But without having a degree, without having to spend a whole bunch of money. But the one thing that many of our managers don't learn are the basics that you might have learned in a different environment, right? Like in a different industry. Just the basics of what the do and don't of in an interview, because, you know, you can get a lawsuit before they're your employee, right?
Yeah.
FMLA, ADA, which is disability. These are two really big, they're very active. Like if you do a search in Google for dealership lawsuits, you're going to find age discrimination, disability discrimination. You know, those are some of the big ones. And always coming up with coupled, you're going to find retaliation, right? Because we don't teach our managers how to respond. So I'm going to give everybody the response. If you have an employee that comes to you and makes whatever complaint, somebody grabs me somewhere or whatever, the first thing you say is thank you for bringing that to my attention. The company takes this very seriously, and now you go and you follow your policy, because you should have a written policy, and you follow that policy. 9 out of 10 times people come to you and say, I don't want anybody to get in trouble. I don't want to cause any waves. I say, I appreciate that, but we need to do the right thing.
I got to be honest. I went through that. I said, thanks for bringing it to me. I looked into it.
Mm-hmm.
And the person said almost the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Says, I don't want him to get into trouble. And it was about a tech. And unfortunately, he's a little bit different. And probably the most innocent human being on earth, didn't do anything of serious wrong. But this person took it to the next level and wouldn't take anything and got everybody in trouble. And then unfortunately handled it wrong because her advice was wrong. I'm not saying that the whole
I have done investigate. The important thing is that as a manager, you're not going to be equipped to actually do an investigation that's going to keep you out of trouble.
Yep.
Right.
You're right.
But sometimes I read lawsuits where there wasn't a good response. Right. So if there's a complaint, first you have to find, there's a whole process to go through, and that's the boring shit, right? Like that's the boring stuff that nobody wants to talk about. But it's important that we do this stuff. Or I mean, you know, it's so easy in the car business to make money.
Dance.
It is why I dance, because I have to let go sometimes, right? I gotta love my life. So
go ahead, Ian.
Yeah.
So I had a question. I mean, we've been doing HR shows now for 4 years. We tried every topic, I think. We tried creative titling.
Nobody wants to come. Should we just give up, Ian?
No. I mean, but we've tried having focused on the attrition rate. We've tried focusing on different topics, having different guests, all kinds of different things. My question for you, I mean, you've obviously been doing this for a while. What do you think it will take for the audience, which in our case is automotive, whether it be employees or employers or OEMs, to take it seriously, but more importantly, to listen? What do you think?
I think that it is, I think in order to change the way we think, right, sometimes that takes something terrible. And I think that we might get forced into that because of the workforce, right? Because I think that if we don't do this, I think we're going to continue to have challenges as boomers and Gen Xers, because I mean, I'm looking forward to retirement, right? Like I don't want to work forever.
Really?
You know, and as our workforce moves into a workforce full of millennial, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, we're going to have to do it, right? I think the smart thing to do is to do it before you have to do it, and you can be the leader of the pack.
Well,
right?
But it's the real challenge is anybody from any previous, I hate the term generation, trying to adapt to the new one, because, you know, I can tell you now, try to hire people that want to work more than 6 hours in a day. It's a figure of speech. It's a cliche. And 4 days a week is really tough. And when if we're trying to hire on our mindset as being a Gen something I won't admit to,
we have to change our mindset. This is the thing.
We do, but the problem is we have this industry is focused. It's built
Right.
You know, the
We
service
keep
department,
doing the same way, the way we've always done it. And
we keep losing. But if you have a service department, we want somebody in there at 6 a.m.
but we don't lose. We don't lose, right? We don't lose big.
No.
The thing, car dealers, somebody asked me a long time ago, like, why? Like, it's, you know, there's the business cases there, like, you know, for DEI. Let's talk about DEI, right? The business case is there. Why? And I think that the reason is it's easy, not easy to make. I'm not saying that what car dealers do is easy, right? But the money comes, right? So we have an environment of the good being the enemy of the best, because you're doing good, so you don't have to. You don't.
Well, we talked. We
gotta
this on the
go.
show on Monday, which was basically
on that.
electric cars and why do people not want to sell them or buy them? And it's kind of the same argument. It's change. That's basically it. But we're out of time, I hear.
We are.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I love you guys.
Bumping into, even though it's twice a year, and we appreciate your support too. And I mean, we talk about you all. You don't see all the episodes that we always talk about you, and
Thank you.
you know, mostly because of the dancing and the colorful clothes. No, it's because what I like is you're level-headed. You handle, I'll call it diversity, and not your type of diversity, really well. Because we've had some people, we've had some lovely interactions, and there's no hate-ons on anybody, and I love it, and it's great. And if I can, okay, I can. I don't mean to make that snazzy, but thank you.
See you. Thank you.
Hey, if you missed us live, you can listen to us wherever you get your podcast.